For the most part, locals have always been really nice to me. Nicer than a lot of fucking white people, actually. But occasionally, I get the one that has a hair up their ass about how Whitey took his island, and therefore, whatever shitty situation he's in, usually economically, is due to that. So, you know, you can always feel them coming. I wait for the store to open, and whenever someone walks up to me with no shoes and no shirt, I'm like, ah, here we go. Someone pretending to be on my phone, but he doesn't seem to care. Hey, are you okay? I'm like, what? He's like, are you lost? I'm like, no. He said, where you from? You vacation? Like, basically he's saying, like, what the fuck you doing on my island, Whitey? And I'm like, no. He's like, you from there? I'm like, yeah, I live here now. So my wife was born here and raised. Because he said at first I was born and raised here. Like, oh, okay, I get it. I see what this is about. And so I said, yeah, so is my wife. He's like, what is her background? What nationality? As if he knows his own, you know? And he'd probably tell you he's Hawaiian. But that's bullshit, because there are no fucking Hawaiians around here. So I'm like, Japanese. But that wasn't good enough. He's like, oh, Japanese. Okay. So he keeps trying to talk to me, and I'm just ignoring him. Just waiting for the store to open. And he gets the idea I'm blowing him off. He starts getting a little bit, you know, up in his feelings about it. He's like, can you get any medicine? I'm like, what? He's like, any dope? I'm like, no. So I just turn around and walk over to the store. It's gonna be open in any minute. I just stand at the doorway and look into it. And he walks away slowly, like looking back at me. He's trying to start some shit, you know. And I get some of those guys every once in a while. And like, while I feel like I should talk to them, explain to them really what happened here with their island, they would never understand me. They wouldn't understand. They're not going to understand any of that. They just don't. It's not even like a sophistication issue, which that's there too. But a lot of these guys grew up being indoctrinated by the older folks and their families, telling them about how evil the white man is. A lot of the music is based around that. A lot of the lyrics and stuff, all about how. Now, the reality of the situation is, Whitey ain't had nothing to do with it. What happened was, the bankers, well, the crown, under the direction of the bankers, took this place, period. It ain't got nothing to do with white people. I'm Irish. I have nothing to do with anything. My great-grandparents came over on the boat from Ireland. And nothing to do with African slaves, nothing to do with the takeover of Hawaii. Don't care. Could care less. To this day, the blacks, if anything, their people enslaved my people, the Irish. The Moors enslaved the Irish. And so I don't owe anybody anything. And more to the point, I'm just standing on the corner waiting for the fucking door to open, man. I don't want to have this race face off here with this guy. Because, I mean, I don't know. He was a little guy. But still, some of them, you know, you don't fuck around with them. I just ignored him. Finally, he went away. But it's just ignorance, man. It's like, if I could have talked to him, I would have, instead of worrying about me, who just lives here, pays taxes, and puts money into this place, so that you're not living in the 18th century, why don't you worry about the hundreds of thousands of Africans they brought in here? Why don't you worry about that? But he won't, because they're afraid of black guys. I've already explained this before. I've seen them back down from black dudes quite a few times since they came over into COVID. And I was always told that too, like how badass they were and stuff, and they're always looking for trouble and this and that. They don't say nothing to them. You know, if I was a black dude standing out there, he wouldn't say nothing to me, except maybe try to fucking be my friend or something. That's about it. I saw this one black dude challenge a whole fucking bus of like local guys. He must have started a fight with one of their group. And he it was the bus stop, and he got up. He said, "Come on, man, come on!" Just challenged him to fight him. Like, I'll fucking kill all you pussies and all this stuff. And they couldn't look in the opposite direction quick enough. I was just like, oh man. And you know, I understand why they're afraid, because they didn't have them around here. They didn't grow up with them. So like, you know, they show up here during COVID, and they're really loud and really brash, and you know, they don't have a filter, and it's just, I think it just frightens them. It frightens them. So it's easier to give Whitey shit because they're scared of the black people. It's funny stuff. But yeah, I get that very rarely. For the most part, everyone's been cool to me here. Like local people, like even more so, like I said, than white people. I get a lot of fucking sometimes static from white tourists, you know. But that's because of how I look, not because of being, you know, white. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it in the video, but I'm walking by a couple of white guys. They look like they're tourists, you know. And he said to his friend, he's either a rock star or a drug addict. And I looked at him, and he knew that I heard him. And he's like, oh, fucking. So the way he played it was, I'm just going to say it. He's like, rock star or drug addict? And I said, both. And that was all by way, and they were laughing. But, yeah. It's usually, like, for me, it's, I've been getting a lot of that lately, though. Like, not like that, but I've been getting a lot of complimentary remarks from people, about my book. I don't know what it is. I think it's God telling me don't worry about that, because I do, like, worry about it sometimes, you know. I'm not, like, super outrageous looking or anything, but I do stick out. I don't know. There's not many people that look like me around here, though. Especially, like, if I don't have my glasses on, and you can see my makeup and stuff, and I don't have my jewelry on, though, with all my rings and fucking necklaces and arm things at home, because I forgot to put them on before that. But, yeah, I think, I mean, a lot of the static has to do with that, but I've been getting that static since I was 14. You know, because I've always looked kind of weird. I've always dressed for the stage, even just walking around. I know a lot of people don't understand it. I definitely toned it down in my older age. Now I go for a more refined goth thing, a tropical goth. It's kind of ridiculous. It doesn't go together, you know. But yeah, so I don't know what it is lately. I was just like, you know, it's starting to get me down. Like, I'm be afraid of looking like a maniac or a lunatic, or, you know. But so I started getting all these fucking compliments from people during the week, and it was like, just cool. I think it's God saying, don't worry about it, you're gonna be fine. It's not even of trying to avoid fights or anything. I've gotten plenty of those, so look on until it dead. In fact, being like you know, young teenager, dressing up, putting fucking makeup on and stuff, and right away I noticed I was going to get static. I remember the very first time I did, I was like, wow, that really fucking, that caused those people to do that. I'll have more of that, please. So I was like, in defiance, I've always kind of looked the way I do. There's been times when I've kind of dressed down, though. I remember when I used to, when I was most involved with music, when I was in the band, and we were performing a lot. When we weren't performing, I'd wear like just sweatpants or, you know, baseball hat. That's probably the most dressed down period, because I would want to be like dressed up for, you know, the shows and shit. And there is a different vibe when I just put like if I would have put on shorts here, a t-shirt talking about some brewery, and like a baseball cap, I'm pretty sure I'd be able to just blend right in. You know, I just blend right in. And sometimes I think, yeah, that would be nice. But then this 14-year-old in me going, no, fuck that. What are you, a faggot? You fuck. What are you, a faggot? You get that Maybelline, you put that on, and the lip liner, you fucking asshole. I gotta listen to him. If I stop listening to him, I'd have an easier time, I'm sure. But something would happen in my soul, I think. Till next time. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school. Since we got a new diverse population moved in here during and after COVID, and indeed into this building, we've had this ever-changing collage of multicolored flyers that appear in the elevator now, which weren't there at all. It used to just be a blank wall. Occasionally you'd see something like we're having a meeting of the owners of the units and stuff, but now it's like an endless fucking please don't do this, please don't do that. Today there was a new one about how to throw your trash away because they clog up the trash bin drop. So these have included the car washes for only residents with vehicles they own, because of black people, as we've gone over here. They rent their cars because they rent the nicest ones they can, because it's all surface with all these people. And they're always washing their rental cars out back and clogging up the fucking, they're always out there. So, they had to put the note. Now, they're not going to read these notices, so it's a waste of time. Another one was about the dogs. Please, if you're going to don't let your dogs walk around freely in the building, especially since they're all pit bulls. I think when the CIA drops them off here, they not only do they give them a weapon, but a pit bull with it, because they're all pit bulls. So there's kids in here and there's women, and if one of those things just decides for no reason to just start killing one of them, sort of like their owners do sometimes, it's going to be like, oh well, he was a good dog, he didn't do nothing, he's going to start teaching at church tomorrow, I can't believe he did this. The other thing was throwing items off the fucking lanai. There were people throwing stuff down onto the street. I think that had to do with TikTok. They were doing this thing where they were going around, just them, throwing things off, like heights, stuff in malls, stuff in buildings. And that was a little trend. And as that was going on, we had those notices put up. What are some of the other black notices we have now? I'll have to look at them. I took a screenshot before that. It's always changing. There's always like new ones coming up. Please don't do this. Please don't do that. Guys, please don't do it. It's funny. We've had to make adjustments here. That's not a problem though. Whitey's the problem. Right, local people. It's Whitey who's the problem. What are you gonna do?